Morning everyone. I did shoot this video last week, but I kind of cocked it up because I started jumping all over the place. So I can't even promise that I'm not going to do that now. But there we go. So this one is about a clutch conversion that I've just done. Now, I probably should have filmed it, but as I'm the shittest in the world when it comes to anything that's video editing, no idea how to do it. No idea how people like Lamb Chop do it. No idea. They probably spend their entire lives in an editing suite and being on courses. Anyway, I've got no clue. This has now got... Mine is the pre-ABS, just for extra information. My Z1000 is a pre-ABS one, which comes with a standard clutch. So I've retrofitted the slipper clutch from the newer version after probably about 18 months, 2 years of looking for a slipper clutch. Which I got for a couple £100 on eBay from somewhere in the States, because he's the only one that's actually advertised one. Rob on our forum managed to get one straight away. Lucky get. That was about 18 months ago. He retrofitted his and did a few YouTube videos. And so this one's kind of a bit of a summary, but it's also as well a bit of extra information with regards to how much you actually need from the newer clutch. So anyway, I kind of got a bit of a, how can I say, sort of helping tools, just to kind of compress down what I did, because it's very, very easy. It's a very easy thing to do. I was a bit apprehensive about it, but once I'd actually got inside the clutch and got the clutch that I'd received, there's actually only half the bits that you need. So enough of that there. Anyway, so right, okay, over here is my old clutch. Now, when I received the clutch from the guy on eBay over in the States, he gave me everything inside there. So he gave me the entire clutch. Now, on the forum here, this is how shit my editing skills are. I posted a forum thread of how I did it. And on there, I did post exactly what I'd done. So as you can see there, that's what I'd received in the post, which is an entire clutch. Now, loads of bits in there are the same as my old clutch. So essentially all you're replacing is the actual center parts. So this is where I'll probably end up jumping around and what have you. So anyway, right, so I'd received this came, it's totally identical. The center bearing as well is also identical. The spacer behind, without me lifting it up, wherever that's gone to, the spacer behind anyway. So this I've not even bothered using. That basket is the same as. This is my old central part. This is my old clutch. All the plates and the friction plates, but again, you can use your old clutch. My bike's done about 18,000 miles, and I think the one from the new one had done less, so I just used the newer clutch. But knowing what I know now, I could probably gone and bought the parts of exactly what I needed a lot cheaper. And there's my central plate. This part here as well, all the same. This nut is the same. So essentially, I also wrote down as well, because I didn't measure it, but the new clutch has 9 clutch plates, 7 friction plates, and the thick plate, I call it the thick plate, it might be called the control plate, or it's got some weird name, I don't know, but that is this part here. So if I scroll down, this is the schematic that Rob gave me. Cheers, mate, thank you very much. So all you need to upgrade your clutch to a slipper is this here, 3 of these, 3 of those. I didn't use those, whatever they are. I think some sort of washer. I didn't have that, but mine works fine. This central, so obviously the 3 holes instead of the 5. This is all the same. Coming down here, this is all the same, which is sort of the contents of that there. Coming down a bit more, that plate there is the only one you need, and this. Then you've pretty well got everything you need. Now, I paid about £200 for the entire clutch, but I think those parts, if you can't find a clutch and you want to do the upgrade, aren't that much more expensive brand new. So anyway, there you go. So that was my kind of very quick video about my clutch. And the other thing is as well, is if you've got an older Z1000 with the with the pre-ABS and the old clutch, it is one of the best things you can ever do. The clutch is about twice as light. I'd actually drilled, because it was an upgrade which someone did, I actually drilled my central basket there, and I probably didn't put enough holes into it to get some oil flowing around it when it's cold, because one of the things that, even after having done this, it made it, when the engine was cold, you could feel it kind of lurching forward, but only in all fairness when it was cold. Once it was warmed up, it was fine. But even on a cold engine, the slipper clutch doesn't do that. It's totally smooth. So it's totally smooth, totally light, easier on the hand, much easier to control the bike as well. Just everything is better, everything. So I highly recommend it. As I say, it's a very easy thing to do. You will need a clutch pulling tool, so you'll need one of those to hold the clutch while you take the center part out. And this nut here it's almost like a nylon nut, so it's like a self-locking. You can see that shape that it's got. So as long as you get it tight with a breaker bar, when you pull it down, once you go tight, I usually go about a quarter of a turn. And the breaker bar that I use, which did give me a nice little bit of leverage, is a nice long breaker bar like that. So that's what I use to tighten my clutch up. I didn't use a torque wrench because when one of my other bikes had the clutch rebuilt, the guy who was teaching me how to do it said, you want to do it this tight. So I know how tight it is. And I've been using mine for the last week or two, and it's absolutely perfect. So there you go. So it was a bit of an odd updated video, but oh, there you go. There is these are my other bikes as well. That is my Hyper Motard. I'll talk about it if anyone wants me to. I don't mind. Just put it in the comments if you want me to. If you don't, tell me to shut the fuck up. I don't know. So that's one of my bikes. There are my other two bikes. That one, so the wife keeps telling me I shouldn't have anymore, but it still seems to be here. So that's my old RSV4. It's a pre-APRC one, so as you can see, I'm firmly in analog and no electronics land. And this is my Supermoto, which I did some videos on a few years ago, but I never ever use it, to be honest, because I kind of got the agreement from my other half to build that, because I kind of wasn't allowed one of those. But then I got one of those, and the understanding was that I got rid of that, but I haven't. It's still here. It's great though. And that was my mate's bike, which I converted from an Enduro to a Supermoto, which has been a bit of a rod for me in back, to be honest, because every time I leave it anywhere, there's loads of hoodies looking at it. But there you go. So it kind of just sits in the garage and gets used like once every month or two just to turn the engine over. But yeah, if you want me to talk about any of the other ones or show you what I've done, like I've done with the Z, it's just that I use the Z all the time. It's the one that gets used. So anyway, there you go. Clutch conversation over. If you haven't got a slipper clutch, put one in. It's absolutely brilliant, and you can do it when you're doing an oil change. Oh yeah, sorry, you'll need a gasket. If you might be able to get away with it. I got away with it first time. I had a spare anyway, so you'll need a gasket, but it's a very, very easy thing to do. If you're going to change oil, pop the side off, get the holding tool, get a big breaker bar with the right socket. Oh, actually, the socket size you need, if ever you're going to do it, to get that big bolt off, I think, is what's mine? 30mm socket. Yeah, that's what you need if you want to get the clutch out. So there you go. Clutch conversation over. Cheers, lads.